Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's quick tip. I'm Chris, and I'm here with Mike. And today we'll be talking about how to use the tiling feature and tiling preset in Ergosoft. So, Mike, let's run through a practical scenario here. I'm a print shop doing a job that is a large graphics installation. Walk us through how we can use presets in Ergosoft to get from A to B to make this process as efficient as possible.
Sure. So we're going to tile this image here. This project is actually at a quarter scale, so it needs to be scaled up to 400%. To do that, you can click on it and go to scale. We covered image format presets in a previous video, and I have one here already called 400% scale. So if I select that and hit apply, you'll see the image is now 400%. For tiling, I'm going to select the image and go to the tiling in the properties and actions. We're going to be using the selection window a lot, so I like to use the edit workspace. So if you go to view and edit, you'll see it gets a lot bigger so we can see our tiles a lot more clearly. And our image down here in the bottom left. So in the tiling window, there's a bunch of options. The first thing you'll see is that if your image is too big for your media, it will automatically tile it. So that's what these 44-inch tiles are. We need to tile this image at 35.2. So I have this preset already selected, already created. And I'm going to select that one and hit apply. And you'll see now we have 5 tiles that are even. And on the left, you can see we have our 5 sections. There's a lot more options in here though, so let's go over those. You have horizontal tiling, which is going to tile your image into pieces across the horizontal plane, and vertical is going to tile your piece across, along the vertical plane, right? That's what.
So this is for a horizontal installation or a vertical installation. Uh, if someone can see the piece behind Mike, because that's going horizontally, then you need to create the vertical tiles. So we're using the horizontal tab because that's the direction the finished piece is going in.
Yeah. We also have options on the right. So we have a couple of options in here for you. Rotate by turns, rotate tiles by turns. It will rotate every other tile. It actually puts a little arrow on your tile here. Maybe I'll zoom in and show you that a little closer up. And it's going to rotate every other tile. The main reason for doing this is some printers, maybe they print a little bit lighter on one side than the other. So by rotating every other tile, when you install them next to each other, you have the lighter sides matching up and the darker sides matching up. So it prevents anything where you're like, oh, there's like a line from the dark and the light side matching up if you didn't rotate every other panel. So that's a nice little option right there for you. Put each tile on a separate page. What that does is just what you would think. Let me show you real quick. You can see the break here. So it just puts each tile on its own page. Let's say you're printing something like this behind me, where you're printing each piece on a separate board and you're not printing roll to roll as much. This will let you have a separate RIP image that you can print on one tile. The next image is on another tile and so on. So that's kind of why you would usually want them on their own page. And we also have dash cut line settings. So this is the settings for your cut line. I'll just show you that for just a second. You can change the color and the size and everything. And where you select that is out here. So there's a few more options on the front page here to go over. We have overlap. So overlap will overlap to the left and the right of the tile line onto each tile. So for instance, if you do a 1/2 inch, it's going to overlap a 1/4 inch to the left and a 1/4 inch to the right. So you have a 1/2 inch total of overlap. So if you're installing these together, you have a 1/2 inch of overlap total. That's what the overlap is for. And so I can show you that actually. Let me do like 2 inches. You see that highlighted line? That's showing you where the overlap is, just a visual. So that area is going to be on each tile. So when you put them together, they overlap, and you can see the sections. This is the dash cut line part I was talking about a minute ago. There's a bunch of options in here for different types of lines and how many, but basically that just puts a dashed line around your tile. For instance, if it's not solid color, maybe if it's partially white, you can see where to cut. That's all that's what that's really for. Um, so let's just hit OK here, and let me zoom out and show you the tiles a little bit more. But yeah, there you go. So now you have your 5 tiles, and they're evenly tiled with an overlap, and you have every other one rotated, and there you go.
Okay, so just
Yeah.
visually for 1 second, can we remove the overlap display?
Yep.
And I just want to run through a practical scenario here. If we go back to the concept of, all right, we're going to rotate our tiles to compensate for the color consistency in a printer. Let's say I end up needing to reprint one of the panels. Uh, is there something I can use to make that faster?
You can. So with our image selected, you see all the tiles. If you click on a tile, it shades it away, shades it off. That means it's not going to be in your RIP job. So for instance, if we need to reprint panel 1 and 3, we can click on the other tiles and hit apply, and you'll see on the bottom left here, it changed, and now there's only 2 tiles there. So what that's going to do is re-rip only those 2 tiles. Maybe there was an artwork change and you had to re-rip it. Maybe they got messed up in cutting and you only need those 2 tiles. You can re-rip just those 2.
Great. Okay, so let's say I have all my 5 panels printed. Are there any other tools in Ergosoft that will allow us to keep track of which panel is which for eventual installation, for post-print processing?
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the normal workspace to show you this one, but with the um, print marks, which we did cover in a previous video, you can make print mark presets. We made a preset that will put the tile number on there. And what it does is just something like that. So we have the image name and the tile number. So each tile, it would say sequentially, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then you know which tile is in which position.
Perfect. That's great. Well, very helpful, Mike. In summary, a lot of different options available within the tiling tool. As you go through your configuration, you can save that tiling configuration as a preset, and it will always be available for use on different pieces. And then, of course, in conjunction with other presets in Ergosoft, you can apply different configurations, manipulations, and adjustments to your artwork to make the process easier. Well, thanks a lot, Mike, and thanks for watching, everyone. Please contact us if you have any questions.